Virginia Beach Development Authority. Pursuant to the bylaws of the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority dated December 18, 2018, I hereby call a special meeting of the authority for today's date, Monday, March the 1st, 2021 at 3:30 p.m. in the authority's boardroom at 4525 Main Street, Suite 700, Virginia Beach, Virginia. The attached agenda, which you've all been provided, sets forth the business of the authority to be considered at the special meeting. To adhere to applicable safety regulations during the ongoing pandemic, only commissioners and essential staff will be in physical attendance at the meeting. This special meeting will be broadcast on cable TV and www.vbgov.com. Citizens are encouraged to submit their comments to the authority prior to the special meeting, as well as prior to any meeting, via email at vkelley@vbgov.com. In addition to online registration, any member of the public who wishes to make comments during the special meeting must also register with Vicki Kelly by calling 757-385-6449 or contacting her via email at vkelley@vbgov.com prior to 12 p.m. on March the 1st, 2021. And that was written by me as the chair. So let's go ahead and open this afternoon's meeting. Welcome, Ms. Knott.
Thank you.
First item of business is public comment. Vicki, did anybody register to speak today?
No, ma'am.
So no public comment today. Next, we'll review and approve the meeting minutes for the special meeting on January 26th, 2020. Can I get a motion on the
Move to approve.
meeting minutes? Thank you, Bill. And a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Innovation Park, Hassan.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the authority.
Good afternoon.
If you all recall, I came before you in November of last year to let you know that we have removed about 50,000 cubic yards of the stockpile, and we still have some. If you have the disclosures. Okay, so we have inherited of this stockpile after the road, the Hudom Way construction and the BMP, and the BMP, and we have a reminder of about 40,000 cubic yard left. So with the help of Taylor, we have asked our colleagues in public works and different other contractors and everything, and looking at how they could help us out and everything. The number, the magic number that keeps popping up is $30 a cubic yard. So finally, through acoustical sheet metal, we discussed with with Margaret Shea, and through Valianos. Getting ahead of myself, I'm sorry. We do have a clause in our contribution agreement that we have a deadline to remove the pile as of June 1st, 2021. But knowing how the first removal of the 50,000 cubic yards took a long time, so we really need to get started on it since it is our responsibility. So ASC had agreed to do it and contract with Valianos to remove the remaining and not to exceed $800,000. That gives us about that's at $18 a cubic yard, approximately 40,000 cubic yards, so that would give us about 720,000. But the existing ENS plan and the hauling permits are all under W.M. Jordan's name. So acoustical sheet metal will have to change that, get them under their name, and change the bonds. There are also some debris and maybe, and we just put in a contingency not to exceed $800,000.
So, Madam Chair, if I might be recognized.
Yes.
Yeah, so a couple of things that are important to know. This is going back to the original specification that was drawn for the Innovation Park, and no way to draw it. It was a flaw. It was and the flaw basically was in an effort, I believe, to control construction costs and to keep them within what was allocated in our CIP. Our then annual services engineer and internal engineer basically wrote a specification that did not require hauling off and allowed for these surplus soils to be spoiled immediately adjacent to where we were building our infrastructure. It's an existing condition. It's our dirt. There's no road to a shovel-ready site designation with a mountain of dirt piled on it. And so it's something that has to be remedied. What I would say, though, that's important to note in addition to that, it's my hope that this will cost far less than what we were asking for. I just don't want to come back here again and have to do this another time. And so it's important to note we're paying actual costs. The other is we'll be sending a transfer of funds from my operating budget to cover. This was a staff error. Not no one on our current staff, but it was a staff error that I inherited that now we are working through together. And so I'll be transferring $500,000 from our operating budget to cover the majority of these costs, and hoping that's sufficient. With that, we would ask for approval of the items so that we can continue with development of the Innovation Park.
Is there a penalty on it? You don't get it done by June?
Yes, we get sued. Yeah, that's how that works. I can't tell you what the penalty is. I can just tell you we get sued.
And so as we discussed, this was what, November,
That's right.
November-ish, we talked about the fact that in order for ACS to move forward with construction, we were gonna need to agree to remove the soil. At that point, we thought maybe we could find somebody who would take it for us, but.
And we did push it to their phase 2 path, but it's still.
It's still there and it's got
Yeah, it's important that we did find someone to take some of it. Virginia Beach National took 12 dump truck loads. We still got 40,000 yards left after moving 50.
That's a lot of dirt.
It's an
And
incredible.
they used a lot of it for their burns. And we requested the input from Dominion Energy. So Acquisitive Sheet Metal did use some of that.
And is there anybody else in the park that needs a berm?
Yeah, so there is, but we're gonna have to pay we're still gonna have to pay to haul the dirt even there. Let me tell you, we looked at everything up to and including working with our own public works team to just haul the dirt to another place within the ITA. The problem is, again, the volume of dirt. I mean, the biggest dump truck they have is a 20-yard truck, and it's not an all-terrain type rig, which you would need for this hauling off-road. And so it's one of those things where I don't mean to laugh, but if I didn't, I'd cry. And so it's just
And I'm having nightmares about it.
yeah, but
Meetings that we've had, the amount of time Mr. Adams has spent trying to get rid of this dirt is.
Could we have an auction and auction off to the best bidder? I mean, maybe someone would actually buy it.
But you gotta haul it off on your dime.
Yeah, that's right. No.
the issue for us, we actually looked at a number of things. We looked at something like just offering it up for people to come and get. We looked at sealed bids and, to sort of move this off. The issue that we had, there are two things and that actually is a great question. The issue that we had is it's an active construction site. And so anything that we did here other than this solution likely involves basically having a second contractor that creates liability for us while it's actually under construction. And so having our partner who's building out the site move this for us is actually Well, it speaks to how badly they want to see it gone too. I was shocked when they came and made the offer.
Well, and lesson learned, I mean, the next time we do, you know, infrastructure work in the park or any park, we've got to make sure we've got a plan for dirt removal.
And from a procurement standpoint, that is an important designation to make. We're not contracting with the general contractor to do this. This is basically a provision that is in our contract, that we are bound to do this in our contract with Acoustical Sheet Metal. And they are offering to take this on and to basically bill us at actual cost associated with doing it. So it's important to note, you are not contracting or buying construction to remove this. What you are doing is you are working with your partner who's already developing this site to have them handle the problem for us. And this is important because our liability to have it moved by June 1st is with our partner, Acoustical Sheet Metal. So there's some additional protection for us in this.
So it's not, the general contractor isn't getting to mark this up, it's at
That's
cost.
correct.
That's great, that's very nice.
So with that, we'd ask for your approval.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor of approval of the proposal?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Same sign? That motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is administrative information. I don't know if we have any priorities from Development Authority members. And that gets us to Taylor's Director's Report.
I tell you, an exciting time. I'll have you a more formal report on this at your regular meeting in March, but the one thing I just want to commend the team here. The two, just want to remind the communities, we've now been through closeout and completed our audit, and I want to again thank Lyndon Ramias for his audit of our small business assistance programs. But during the pandemic, just to state for the public that through your leadership and through our city council, we were able to put $6.4 million directly in the hands of 598 local businesses. The vast majority of those being restaurants and shop owners. But also, it's important to note that we covered that grants were administered to every zip code in Virginia Beach and basically every commercial use that we have been able to. We've not been able to identify a commercial use where there wasn't at least one participant in the program. So I just want to thank you on behalf of our team for your leadership. And what I can tell you is the assistance that you all put into our community in no small way helped our businesses survive the pandemic. So thank you all for your leadership.
And then Taylor, which are the funds that are being administered through the United Way? Are those additional?
Those are additional funds. So to date, there have been an additional $4 million that have flowed to the United Way from City Council to vbrelief.org. Those programs look very similar to ours. And I'll tell you, though, one thing that we found, as you all know, I mean, you're a policymaking body, and as is City Council. So any lessons learned that we would figure out through the program had to come back to you for additional guidance and additional votes, whereas our private partner is able to basically course correct immediately and just report back to us. And so what we're finding is they're in a better position to quickly administer the program and get the money out the door to businesses. But what and this is something out of a report that I gave to City Council a few weeks ago, it's important to note. They got to start with all the lessons we learned over the 8 months preceding, and I will tell you, I think even they would tell you, our friends at LISC would tell you that their program has run well off of the lessons we learned from ours in the 8 preceding months. So again, thanks to you and thanks to our City Council for being willing to support our business community.
Rosemary.
So Taylor, did any of our sister cities around here do anything similar to?
So there were, I want to say that Hampton did a grant program, but it was, and I'll tell you, and congratulations to them for doing it. But from a scale standpoint, it was a fraction of the amount that we did here. I think Norfolk did something, but what I would tell you is there's nothing in the region that's even remotely on the scale of what you all did. And I'll be honest, I don't know of anything in the Commonwealth or the Mid-Atlantic that is on the scale of what the Virginia Beach City Council and this Development Authority have done. So, thank you.
very exciting that we were able to do that.
And it got the funds where they needed to go. You know, I think so many people wondering where relief is need only look at their local government and say, hey, where did that money go that you got from the federal government? So in Virginia Beach, we know where it went, and it went to businesses who are hurting. All right, Taylor, did you have anything else for the open session?
That's all for open. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, anything else from the commissioners? All right, with that, the chair will entertain a motion to recess into a closed session pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711A Code of Virginia as amended for the following purposes. Contracts, discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offerers, and discussion of the terms or scope of such contract, where discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A30. Prospective business or industry. Discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industries' interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5. And Vicki, we need to do a voice vote, do we not?
So moved.
Second.
So we've got a motion and a second, and then a roll call.
William Brunke,
Yes.
Taylor Franklin,
Yes.
Kenny Morgan,
Yes.
Lisa Murphy,
Yes?
Joe Strange,
Yes.
Deidre Weisenseal,
Yes.
Scott Wood.
Yes.